right in the kisser.
Hey, how the devil are you? Right. Oh, I've got another DAC. A lot of DACs coming through my way recently. So this time we've got the SMSL Raw DAC1. Rolling, 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 Raw DAC1. It may be RAW. Now I recently reviewed the, what was it? The Raw HA1, hyphen HA1. I thought that was a very decent amplifier. But I did think there was a little bit of roll off on the treble on the top. I didn't think it was quite sparkly enough on the top. Bass was good, mids were great, the treble was fine, but I did correct it with the tone controls, and I'm actually still using it now as my main desktop amp, because it's once you mess about with the tone controls, it's all right. Anyway, let's get it out of the box, and seeing as it's Halloween, I've done a special Halloween unboxing. Now this is not for the faint-hearted, so I'm giving you prior warning now. Have a look at this. Oh, scary stuff. Oh, here we go. Right. Let's have a little look at the specs online and see what we've got. Okay, let's see what we've got. It supports MQA. Am I missing something here? Is anybody using MQA anymore? I know Tidal has taken it all off and they're using FLAC now, but maybe some people have some MQA CDs rocking around in their collection. I don't know. There we are, but it's on there. There you go. Then it's got the AK4191 plus AK4499EX DAC. Good combo that, I think released in 2022. Then it's got USB XMOS XU316 CK03 clock processing circuit, Bluetooth 5.1, supports LDAC, and fully fitted LCD screen. MQA. They look nice there, them DACs tonight, but they probably don't look like that in the box. XMOS. Here we go. We got. So it says PCM. That's probably through the USB. 32-bit, 768 kilohertz. DSD 512. Probably through the coax and optical. It'll be 24-bit 192, I reckon. And it's got an I2S input. Now this is not HDMI input. This only supports audio only. So HDMI supports audio and video. This is just audio. And they reckon there's a benefit to doing that because it's supposed to give better signal separation and reduce jitter. I just want to check the total harmonic distortion, the THD plus noise, and it's ridiculous. 0.00006% at minus 124 dB, right? And signal to noise ratio of 132 dB out of XLR and 127 dB out of RCA. Flipping heck. Now, look at the specs on the HM1, the amp I reviewed the other day. Signal to noise ratio is 108 and total harmonic distortion 0.03%. These are decent specs. They're pretty good, but this is outrageous. Flipping heck. And mind you, it should be, because this DAC isn't particularly cheap. See, it's going for, on ShenZenAudio.com, is £383.36, or $499.99. What's it in euros? 459 euros. So it's not cheap. It's not, but it is very well spec'd. Core blimey. And there's a remote there. I've had to turn the brightness down because when you go into the menu settings, you can't see them. I'll show you what I mean now. If I turn the brightness up, you can't see nothing on the camera. So I'll leave it right down. There you go. I learned that from when I did that one. So there's your brightness. What else we got? This menu is ridiculous. So you got your inputs there, all your inputs there. USB-C, Bluetooth, etc., etc. Then you got your outputs. What's it got? All line out, or you can have balanced or unbalanced. I'll keep it on all line out. PCM filter. All these different ones. And again, I always say it on these DACs, I can never hear a difference, and it maybe is my ears. There we are. You got your DSD filter then, wide and narrow. What else we got? Sound color. Now, I did hear some subtle differences in these sound color modes. I actually preferred the default setting, sound 1, but there is some, albeit subtle, but there are some differences there. Then you've got your pre-mode then, so basically you can have it variable or fixed. And what that means is, at the moment it's on variable, right? So let's come out of that. So I can use the volume. And the amp can just stay fixed as it is, okay? But if I go back into it and put it to fixed, come out of there, okay, now the volume doesn't work. I fixed it. There you go. And then what's that? That's fixed DSD bypass. Stick it back on variable. FN key. So you got an FN key on your remote. Where's the remote control? I've lost it. Where is it? Over here. So you got an FN key there, and you can use it for outputs, Bluetooth, phase, whatever. I'm going to keep it on outputs at the moment. What we got? I2S mode. It switches between different I2S interface standards. I think PS Audio use one and some other companies use another. So I think that's what that's for. Keep it on normal for now. So then you've got audio phase. And if you've got any phase issues, you can invert it. Sort of phase issues, I guess. I think that's what it is anyway. Okay, back to there. What else we got? Use the interface style. Just changes the style of the interface there. You can either have his graphics or universal. I'm going to keep it on graphics. Language, dimmer, brightness, reset. And there you go. Does it make an improvement to the HA1? 100%, definitely. Really opens it up a lot. And brings that top end right back in again. Really crystal clear treble. Lovely sound off it. So much so I was a bit like, whoa. That's like really good. And it should be for the price really, because All in, that's going to cost you, set you back, I think it's what, say 400 quid for the DAC, 250, about 600 to 650 pounds. So you're having to fork out quite a bit. But, and you know, I think this could give my Leak 230 a run for its money. Now, I put up against the HA1 on its own against the Leak 230 in that review. And the Leak 230 was better. But I'm going to put my neck on the line and say this is going to sound as good. I reckon it is. I was going to do some other sound tests, but I've got to put this up against the Leak Stereo 230. Got to be done, hasn't it? Well, what do you think of that? The Leak wins again. I thought it could take on the Leak. Stupid. For me, I think the Leak won. It was close. They sound very different. This is what you've got to remember. They sound different. Okay, it doesn't mean one is better than the other. But I think the Leak in the top end, upper mid and things, it was a bit more open. A bit more open soundstage. And probably a little bit more detail in it. But don't get me wrong, the SMSL DAC amp combo sounded really good. I played a lot of music on it via the CD player. Bit of Pete Tong, you know I love Pete Tong. Yeah, and I thought it was great. It's got a lot of bottom end grunt, that combo. So much so that when I was doing the recording, I had to turn the bass down a little bit by minus 2 dB on the amp because the bass that combo was putting out was a bit too much. I couldn't lever the volumes. It was the mic wasn't picking it up, so I had to. So you could say the Leak had a bit of an advantage because of that. But I also think, and someone mentioned it in the comment when I reviewed the amp the other day. I think it was John, maybe John. Thanks, John. I think if it was you. Mentioned that maybe the speaker pairing might be not right. I mean, the Wharfdales go really well with the Leak Stereo 230, and perhaps with the AK DACs and things like that, they're a bit warmer. So when you're pairing a warm DAC and a warm sounding amp with warm sounding speakers, it could be a bit too laid back, a bit too recessed. So perhaps maybe some Clips speakers might be a better pairing for that combo. Or even some B&W speakers. I know they're a bit more pricier, but don't get the anniversary 602s. Oof, don't get them, they're a bit too high. But you know, B&W tend to be bright sounding, and I think they'd be a better match for that pairing. Anyway, but do you know what? Considering this is almost double the price of that combo, it put up a good performance. You know, it's still really good, and I'm definitely going to keep it for my desktop setup. It sounds great. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. If there's anything I don't like about it, it's still the same issue I have with SMSL and the length of their leads. Get a longer lead, come on, sort it out, SMSL. Oh, my pulled pork is cooked. Alexa, stop. Time it, eh? Pulled pork. You can't smell it, but I can. And it would have been nice if the DAC and the amp had a trigger in and a trigger out. I think it's handy, you want to turn one off, and you've got to turn one off and turn the other off. It'd be good if you had a trigger, you just turn one off and they both go off and both come on at the same time. Would have been handy. It's not a deal breaker, but it would have been handy. But all in all, I can still reckon, even though it didn't sound as good as the Leak takes some beating. I've put so many amps up against it, and nothing's beaten it yet. So I've got to say, it's a very good combo. I'm going to keep it for my desktop setup because I think it's really good. But Leak Stereo 230, what a Yoda, you little. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.